Hey everyone, welcome back to Investor Scene. I'm Jeremy Saffron. Now we're excited to be talking about obviously commodities, but you've been paying attention to this show. You've found out a lot about battery metals lately. This next company trades on the TSX venture under the ticker symbol CMX. It's called Chilean Metals. The CEO of that company, Terry Lynch, joins us now. Terry, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Chilean Metals. For those in the audience that haven't heard about the company, I mean, you have really, really strong assets. And I think one of the things that we'll talk about here is one that you're acquiring now. It's going to be a game changer for the company. Before we get into that, give a little lay of the land, if you will, on CMX.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Chilean's been around for a long time. Obviously, the name like Chilean, it would be based in Chile. So we've got lots of great gold copper exploration plays down there that we're advancing. But as you noted in your opening, we announced late December sort of a game changer acquisition for us, where we're acquiring a great historic resource in James Bay, Quebec. That's a battery metal project, basically a high grade nickel, copper, cobalt, and palladium. And as I was saying when we were chatting before we get on the air, that every junior mining company's mission one is to find a resource that's viable to actually take to a mine. And that's almost impossible to do. It's very hard, as you know. So we were fortunate to be able to acquire this. And we'll get into why it's so. But I really feel like this has got 3 million tons existing of high grade, and probably needs to get to 10 to be a mine. But very, very, very likely we can do that, and maybe there's a lot more. So it's super exciting to have that to start the new year with. So we're pumped.
Now, it's interesting, Terry, you've been in this industry a long time. You've seen the rushes, you've seen the gold booms. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the whole commodity market right now. Where are we, and where's the space when it goes to this EV technology, this battery tech?
Yeah, no, I think, I like to say to people, I'm an investor like you guys are. I invest in this sector, and I'm not a geologist, I'm not a geophysicist. So I know when I'm investing, one of the things I like is when I feel like there's strong tailwinds for the sector. And if you look at the charts, and there's a number of good commodity charts in our slide deck, but one that I'll draw out that investors can easily check is you take a ratio of the TSX.V index over the S&P. So when the commodity market is at its boom, that ratio is usually around 2.5 to 2.8. Today, it's 0.25. So it takes an order of magnitude shift, like a tenfold shift from here to get back there. Now things have turned up though, so that's the good news. And if you look at a number of other charts, there's, as you can see with all the helicopter money, inflation is coming. So obviously it's going to come to the commodity sector, and you're seeing it in your grocery store. You're seeing it in nickel prices. You're seeing it, across the sector. So I think we're about to come into a fairly substantive commodity boom. And when the commodities turn, it's a ripper, and you really want to be positioned because it's a life-changing event. So we're excited to hopefully be there now.
Right. You talked about the transition into battery metals. It's an important one. We've seen demand outstrip the supply here. In terms of the industry, and in terms of this asset in particular, what does the potential look like here? What does it look like here for the company?
What's interesting, one of the things we did when we looked at the deposit, and it's a good sort of test if you have a deposit that has a resource, is look at analogous resources that are like it in the space. And what the test we do is we say, how much drilling did they take to get to that resource? And what does that in situ value of the resource look like in the ground? So we basically take a price curve of the commodity. So in this case, it's nickel, copper, cobalt, palladium. And then you sort of take a price curve and say, what is this resource worth per drilling meter? So as an example, we looked at 2 comparable companies to us, one Palladium One, around $60 million valuation, got a nice little deposit, about a little less than 3 million tons. And then Talon Metals, which is bigger deposits, sort of 4 million and change, but higher grade, and so its market cap's over 300 million. So we looked at those two and sort of being analogous type deposits of where we might be somewhere in between there, and we basically looked at the math. And so I would say Talon Metals is probably around 40,000 US per drilling meter, Palladium around 60, 65, and we're around 90. So what it shows is that from a perspective point, this is a highly prospective, property, and it's not had a lot of drilling. And that's the magic for us, is that, what it's had has been effective, and they've been successful and created, resource in the ground. And now we, need to take it the rest of the way. But that's a great spread for us. And when you look at, like, I think our market cap is 12 million right now. So that's because the market doesn't understand. They think we're still exploring for gold in Chile. And, right. The exploration companies haven't been getting their love lately. So it is what it is. But what the market needs to realize is that, man, we got a hot battery metal project that we're going to prove up into a mine, we hope, over the next year, and that should transform our valuation.
It's exciting. I mean, it seems like it's CMX 2.0 here. We have this fresh kind of round where we're coming in, and let's talk a little bit about that blue sky. I mean, I'm curious here, Terry, as a shareholder, talk about the next 6 months to a year. What can we expect to see from Chilean Metals?
Yeah, so basically what we'll do right now is, we're basically modeling up the resource in Quebec, and we'll look to get in the probably early Q2 and start to advance that project forward. So we'd expect to, I don't know, we'll spend probably $3-4 million on that over the next few months, and then towards the end of the summer, we'll look to do an exploration program on our other great acquisition that we haven't talked about yet, but we acquired a killer project in the Golden Triangle, right in the heart of the matter, in the southern part of the triangle, just between Strike Point Resources and Scotty Resources, and beside Ascot Resources. And it's called a project called Golden Ivan, never been drilled. Our neighbors have had, very high grade strikes literally on our border, and the geophysics look fantastic. So as a monopoly chip in the very hot Golden Triangle area, it was a phenomenal deal for us. And we obviously did that before we did the NIST deal, but we'll definitely want to be testing the waters there from a blue sky perspective, because we know there's going to be resource there because of the neighbors, but there could be something really special. So we're excited about that. And the good news with both NISC and with Golden Ivan, it's in BC and Quebec, so it's super flow through. So, very effective to raise capital and drill.
Very, very exciting next 6 months to come. I'm excited to have you back on as the news and the results kind of come to fruition, so we can communicate that to the shareholders. Terry Lynch, CEO of Chilean Metals, I appreciate your time today.
Great to talk to you. Have a great day. Cheers.
Thanks, my friend.